To know that is sanity. To deny it is insanity. God gave Himself to you in your creation, and His gifts are eternal. Would you deny yourself to Him? Oh, yes, you would. You prefer the God of death. And you would rather fear the God of death than love the God of life. Why? Because you don't have any justification for doing anything else. All the evidence tells you that death is ultimate, absolute, and final. And you play with your spirituality. You play with wonderful ideas like life is eternal, but you really still believe that death reigns and that it is to be ultimately feared, and there's no justifiable reason for believing that death can be overcome. It's too much to ask you to believe that death can be overcome, that terminal illnesses can be healed, and that their absence is just remission. See? I mean, death, you're never let off the hook from death. If you no longer have a terminal disease, it's not that you're healed and whole, it's that it's in remission. It's there, but it's not at work killing you. See? And the reason you never let yourself off the hook is because you will not withdraw your allegiance and devotion to the God you believe in. Can I invite you to just be radical and do something different than serve this God so obediently? Your God can't take away anything more from you than your life. And that's already in the agreed upon contract you have with your God. So you're not even risking anything to do something radical. And to believe that maybe God is as actual as the God you're serving, and that you are actually as divinely real as I'm telling you that you are, and that in your being radical enough to shift your allegiance from your God to your Father, you just might remember who you are. And be transformed out of an insanity that you can't believe you're in, but I'm telling you that you are. But insanity is not terminal. It's just an ongoing bother until you abandon it, like a mosquito buzzing around your ear. Here's the truth. Out of your gifts, through this practice of being a little radical, out of your gifts to Him, and what's the most valuable gift you could give Him? What is it that is His treasure? Your attention. Steal a little bit of your attention away from your God, the God of death, and give God a little bit of your attention. That's the most wonderful gift you could give Him. Out of your gifts to Him, what? the kingdom will be restored to his Son, to you. His Son, you, removed himself from his, God's gift, by refusing to accept what had been created for him and what he himself had created in the name of the Father. You refused to accept it because you said, Father, I'd rather do it myself. Heaven waits for his return, the return of the Son, you. Another way of putting this that keeps it well grounded is that your right mind awaits your return to embrace it. Heaven waits for his return, for it was created as the dwelling place of God's Son. You are not home anywhere else or in any other condition. Now this is what God tells you. It isn't what your God tells you. Do not deny yourself the joy which was created for you, for the misery you have made for yourselves. God has given you the means for undoing what you have made, meaning what you have made up. Listen, and you will learn what you are. Oh, there's that word again. Listen. Stop talking. Stop asserting your definitions. Stop describing the likenesses and images you're making up. Stop trying to be right, and stop using every action you can engage in to convince others that you are right, just so that you can somehow validate, ultimately, eternally validate yourself by virtue of your having demonstrated that you on your own are right. Now, don't make this all complicated. Don't make it all emotional. Don't even make it intellectual. Don't figure that you've got to reason this out to the nth degree, so that by virtue of understanding it totally, you will be transformed. Because there won't be any little tiny spot or speck in your mind that's confused, and that will make you clear. No? That's still control. That's still you being in charge. The simple way out of this is to simply be conscious in every moment of your day with the curiosity to see the more of what God is being there than what you're presently seeing. Why? Because you want to feel the joy, and you want to feel the bliss. You want to experience the divinity, the godness, the unadulterated and unchangeable goodness of everything. And I want to leave you with this simple thing. When you are sure about anything, without having had an intimate moment with that thing in which you became undefended enough to let that thing disclose to you what it divinely is. Your attitude and behavior is a call for love. It's a call for correction. You can't just say, the misperceptions that I'm having at the moment are not real, and therefore everything's okay. No. Not knowing the truth about a thing is a state which itself is a call for correction. And so, ask for correction. Let your prayer each day, each moment be, Father, correct my perception. Help me abandon my allegiance to incorrect perception. Help me to be corrected. Don't wait for someone else to come along, and recognize that the way you're being in the world is a call for correction, who will then love you enough to elicit and inspire a corrected perception. Ask for correction yourself. Initiate the process of correction yourself. In other words, understand that when you look at a flower, or you look at your mate, or you look at a friend or a tree or whatever, and you say, I desire to see more of what God is being there than I'm seeing, you are asking for correction of your mind, which means that you're going to have to allow a change of mind to take place. And you are going to have to let yourself be made new. Just be aware of that. I love you. The more stark the difference between truth and illusion, the more fascinating and the more interesting waking up becomes. So don't be afraid to look illusion squarely in the face. And don't be afraid to look at your misguided behavior squarely in the face, because when you do, it becomes obvious to you what you do and don't want to participate in. And so you can bring your willingness to the process of inner correction. And you won't die from it. And you won't hurt from it. And you will not be made to feel guilty in the process for anything. But you will be called upon to allow the correction to occur so that you are no longer engaging in the actions arising out of misunderstanding or lack of clarity in you that has reinforced your bondage and kept you from knowing who you are. You know me. I could talk endlessly. There is enough here for you to let sink in, be with. And I look forward to being with you next week.